Hey folks, Matt Sharp here with another Pacific Angler Friday Fishing Report. This one is going to be very short and sweet. Why? Well, I'm filming for April 1. If it's nowhere near April 1, click up here. This is a link to all the Friday Fishing Reports. We do it most weeks. I've got a bunch of news, but I've got not a lot of details. A bunch of news that is going to affect you as anglers across British Columbia, so you want to stay tuned, and I'm going to keep it as quick and fast as possible. First off, it's a new license season. That's pretty simple news, pretty easy news. Links down in the description to get your saltwater or freshwater fishing license. Make sure you're not that guy that has always paid for his fishing license 20, 30 years in a row, and then he missed it by 5 days and he got the big ticket because of it. Don't be that dude. Get your new license. Now, on the saltwater front, this is a big one, and everyone's asking, is there going to be a pilot program for marked selective Chinook retention when it comes to specific areas across the Howe Sound and or our local regions and farther up north? We don't know yet, but we're hoping. We're crossing our fingers that the NGOs that have said no to this do not pull weight with the guys and girls making the decisions. If you want to hear about why David Suzuki is saying that we shouldn't have these fisheries, check that out in last week's report, but stay tuned to the written version of the report. We're going to try to have information as quick and accessible as possible. Also, stay tuned to your fisheries announcements. You should see something there. Again, I say we're crossing our fingers. The common sense wins this battle. We can get out there and retain marked Chinook in very specific areas that have nothing to do with whales and nothing to do with stocks of concern. All right, what else? Well, we've got a bad one. We've got a really concerning one that some of you may have already heard of. It is if you are a lake angler who loves the interior, you need to stay tuned. What's happened? Well, you guys and girls remember all that amazing weather we had last fall where we were out on patios in short sleeves until, like, I want to say October 25th? Well, the problem with that was that everything went from being very warm to very cold. All the plants and all the bug life and all the nutrient in the lake was growing happily, and then all of a sudden it got cut off because things got cold and then ice came on. The problem with that, all that nutrient has been decomposing all winter and has absolutely sucked the oxygen out of all of our lakes. If you have a lake that you love to fish and it has a history of winter kill, it's probably going to be a winter kill lake this year. The numbers that we're seeing are the worst that have been recorded in the last 25 years. Not good news. If you've got a lodge trip planned, call your lodge, ask them what's going on. Obviously try to support that lodge if, God forbid, they are one that got hit by this winter kill, but make appropriate fishing decisions associated with it. Maybe plan to go to lakes around that. Go to the lodge, hang out, spend your good money because those guys and girls need it, but then maybe make a plan to get a belly boat, get something to get away from that lake that might be winter killed so you can get into good fishing areas. Also, if you have a camping trip or just a trip planned, and again, that was one of those lakes that maybe 4 or 5 years winter killed, you're going to want to stay tuned to next week's report where I'm going to try to get as much information as I can on this as possible. It's going to suck. We still should have good lake fishing this year, but it's going to be spaced between lakes that don't have an issue with oxygen versus lakes that do. All right, what else? More bad news. It looks as though there's going to be a closure on the upper Squamish River come the 3rd to the 14th. I'm seeing if I can get more details on that, but you might not be able to access the upper river, so you might have to hit the lower river. Now, I will say that the lower river looks pretty good right now with low water levels, but still one to take note of. I don't want to have a ruined weekend for you guys and girls if you're planning to get out that way, so take note. And last but not least, more good news. Don't know if the Skagit is going to be able to be opened this year. We're hearing some reports from the road crews, and though it might be passable, it doesn't look like it's going to be something. I'm going to have more updates on this as well. I'm digging into it a bunch because I love that fishery, and I really feel that we need access to it and it needs us there enjoying it and protecting it. But that's all I've got for now. Maybe make some plans around that for this spring. All right, lots of doom and gloom. I'm gonna have more updates next week, hopefully more solid information, but I wanted to get this out to everybody. As always, you want to see more fishing reports like this, consider hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna catch you next week.